Okay, so today we're going to go over articles. There are only 3 articles in the entire English language. A, an, and the. Now, a and an are called indefinite articles. What that means is they're not specific. So let me give you an example. If you say, go grab me a book from the library, it's not specific as in, only this book that we were discussing. Go grab me only this book. That's different. You're saying, go grab me a random book. Or it implies that there are many books where we're going to grab the book. So just grab me one of the many books in the library. So it's not as definite. So that not as specific. So it's considered indefinite. So a lot of times it means like one of many, or one in general, or one randomly. Whereas the is very specific. It's not random. It's not indefinite. So the is called a definite article. Reason why is, let's say you said, go get me the book from the library. Well, the book implies the book that these guys were discussing, or the book. Maybe I have it written on a note. Go get me the book from the library. So it's very specific, and also, or it could mean the only. So you could say, go get me the book from my car. That assumes that the speaker either only has one book in his car or thinks he only has one book in his car. So go get me the book from my car. Now, as far as the origin of the articles, it comes from Old English, and the word was an, A-N, and it meant one. So remember, guys, a, an, and the all mean one. They just describe it. A and an describe it in one way, and the describes it in another way. Now, use the word describe for a reason. Articles are not their own part of speech. Okay? Articles are adjectives. Now, we all know we know that adjectives are they describe or modify a noun or a pronoun, right? Now, articles clearly are adjectives because when I think of an adjective, I close my eyes, and so if you were to say, I close my eyes and you were to say, the big, hardback, thick book. Now I know that all of these words before book help me describe more clearly, more palpably, more specifically what that book is. So now I have a clearer picture. It's less foggy. It's less vague. What that book is, and what the picture is of that book, or the sense I get of that specific book. So that's what makes those adjectives. Well, if you were to say, go grab me a book, that helps the reader understand that there are countless books wherever he's going to get the book, and then he's just going to get a random one. Or if he said, go get the book, if the speaker says, go get the book from the library, then we know that that's helping us picture the specific book that we were talking about, that the listener and the speaker were discussing. So it more clearly specifies for the reader exactly who or what we're referencing. So a, an, and the are articles, but articles are adjectives. Remember that, guys. Now, the last thing I want to mention about articles is that you don't want to look at the first letter of the following word after the article. You want to look at the first sound of the next word in the article. That makes you decide whether it's to use a or an. Now, we use the for any word that we're referencing in that way. The umbrella, the professor. So, University of Michigan, for example, the professor. So, what if you said, I took a class from a UM professor. Is it going to be a UM professor or an? It's going to be a, right? It just sounds better. A UM professor. How come it sounds better? It's because UM actually is pronounced U. So the first sound is a Y, which is a consonant. It's a vowel in some cases, but it's considered a consonant. So A-U-M professor. I took a class from a UM professor. So even though it's U, the letter U is the next letter, you're going to say a UM professor because Y, or because UM starts with the letter, the sound, the phonetic sound of Y, which is a consonant. So it's a UM professor. What did you want it to say? An igloo, an umbrella, and Oscar Mayer hot dog. All of those are vowels. The first sound of the following word is a vowel, so that's why we say an. So remember to listen for it, but that's exactly what we're listening for, and that's why it sounds weird if you say an UM professor instead of a UM professor. So it's going to be a UM professor because the first sound of the next word is a consonant. But again, if the first sound of the next word after the article is a vowel, A, E, I, O, or U, like igloo, umbrella, oracle, etc., all of those, we start, the article that we're going to pick is an. Thank you very much.